What's going on, guys? This is Chris. I'm back with another video. In today's video, I'm remaking a video I made years ago, a tutorial on how to wrap a boat steering wheel or any steering wheel with some paracord to change the aesthetics and overall grip of the actual wheel. So let's get started with the things that you're gonna need to get this done. All right, so 3 things that you're gonna need for this, very affordable. Here I got some paracord. You can get this off Amazon for $10. This is 100 feet. Plenty to do one wheel, but you know, after the one wheel, you're really not gonna have enough excess for another wrap, so just keep that in mind. If you want any of these items, make sure to check the links in the description box below. I'm gonna have links to all these things. You're also gonna need is just a simple lighter, and then something to cut your paracord with, so you get a knife or scissors, and that's it. So let's get started with the process. All right, so the most important part to this process is just getting it started. It looks more complex than it is. All you're gonna need to do is take your paracord, your tag in here, and make a little loop, just like so, and then go over to the wheel. All right, so go ahead, find you a good starting point on your wheel. A good rule of thumb is to start at one of the spokes wherever they meet, you know, the actual wheel itself. Get your loop, go ahead and place it on top of the steering wheel. Take a nice organized bunch in your other hand, your paracord. Make sure you keep it nice and organized. It helps a lot, trust me. And feed it up through that loop. Go under the steering wheel and go up through that loop. So feed it through the loop, and then you pull it on through. And then you're gonna wanna make sure that this is very, very tight up against your starting point, your spoke. So that's why I like to use that spoke as a starting point. You can kind of use it as some leverage, and then you pull it tight, and wherever you place this knot, that's where you're going to want to keep your knots going throughout the wheel to make it look very organized and very aesthetically pleasing. So whether you might actually want to have somebody hold that tag in line while you get started, or tie it to something else, but make sure it's nice and tight and tucked up against that wheel. All right, so as you guys can see here, we got our pattern nice and started. I didn't film after the beginning there because it takes a second to really get the pattern and get in a groove. So the beginning is going to be the hardest part, of course, so make sure you focus and you'll get it. But as you see, our knots are nice and tight there and all in a row. And what you're going to want to do to create that is just a simple pattern. And when I say simple, it's simple to remember, but it's also simple to forget where you're at, and you're going to have to backtrack, as I already had to do. So make sure you stay focused and remember which step you're on. It'll save you a lot in the long run. So the pattern is a simple under over or over under, depending on what you want and where you're at in your loops. So where I'm at is I'm at an over step. So what I'm going to want to do is create a loop under the wheel, just like so, and then take my paracord and feed it over the wheel, wrap it, and then tuck it down there just like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my under step. So I create a loop over top the wheel, just like so, and then I go under it. And then I tighten that down. And as you can see, it creates a knot right here, and then we're just gonna line that knot up with our other ones. We're gonna continue that pattern throughout the entire wheel, and you're gonna end up with nice knots, the rim of your steering wheel. So again, I'm gonna go over, and then I'm gonna go under, create a loop, go under, tuck that up, over, under. Make sure with each knot you're tightening it down as much as you possibly can. You can actually wet your paracord if you guys want. Makes it a little bit tighter, so you can really get it as snug as you possibly can. All right, so when you guys make it to the first spoke, do not be intimidated whatsoever. Just continue with your pattern. So here we're gonna go over, and then I know it looks jacked up. Then you go under, and as long as you make sure this second one doesn't overlap, because sometimes it will whenever you're on this, you know, starting from a new spoke. Make sure they're in sync there, and then just continue your pattern. Over, under, over, under. All right, so one thing that's going to make your life a lot easier, guys, is when you're going, make sure all the knots that you're creating, so as you go, you're just creating these little knots, make sure you line them up in a straight line wherever you want it, whether it be under the wheel, on top of the wheel, to the side of the wheel. You see all these nice tight knots. Make sure, just take, as you're going, take your hand and make sure they're in a nice straight line, or as straight as you want them, or however you want them, you know? It's just gonna make your life a lot easier, because once you get to the end and it's done, you cannot adjust them. So just word of the wise, make sure you take your time, align them how you want, so in the end, you could just be done. All right, guys, we're coming up here on our last couple wraps. I think we got one more after this. Let's see, do our over. We had just enough paracord, like I said, where you're not gonna really have under any left over for a project. So that $10 is gonna go all on your boat steering wheel if you're doing this size steering wheel. All right, guys, so we got our tag ends here, and all we're gonna wanna do is cut them, or the scissor or knife. Don't want to go too close, because what you're going to do is be burning that and then fold it on top of each other, so it creates like a little knot. So you want to leave yourself some paracord to work with. So you want to melt the rope and push it down on top of the other rope, so it's cinching down is what you're wanting it to do. Try not to burn yourself. I believe that one looks good. Then we're gonna wanna probably wrap this one over like so. So burn it down. Oh. They dry really quick. Woo! That is what you don't want to do. You might want some gloves if you're smart. Hey guys, we got a finished product here. We're all done, and she looks absolutely beautiful. Came out a lot better than we thought. Josh was gonna go with the red and black, decided with the silver platinum, gray platinum, and it looks sweet. Hey, if you want to change the aesthetics of your boat or car, wheel, whatever wheel you got, grab you some paracord off Amazon. Like I said, links are gonna be down in the description for all this stuff. $10, $10 to $15. You can change the look of your boat, and it'll look phenomenal. Hey, if you haven't checked out my series or you know, my tutorials on this boat, it's come a long way. This is Joshua Taylor's boat. We've been restoring it. Make sure you check out all those videos, and you'll see it looks night and day from what it did. Hey, if you learned something new in this video, if you found some value in it, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. It really helps a brother out. Subscribe to the page if you haven't already. You made it this far. Why not subscribe? Comment down below. What color are you going to be wrapping your boat steering wheel? Peace, guys.